So today we're sitting down with Brooklyn Selby. So Brooklyn is a third-year student at Concordia University. Is that right? Third year?
Fifth year, actually.
Fifth-year student at Concordia University, studying?
I'm doing a specialization in sociology with a minor in law and business.
Okay. And Brooklyn's also a second-year operator with the StudentWorks Management Program. Last year, she ran about a $55,000 business and is going into her second year to take it to the next level. And, I think going to try to crack 100K and make it on the Mexico trip.
Yeah, so I'm shooting for 120,000 this year. So I'm hoping to double my last year. And I'm pretty excited about it, yeah.
Sick. So my first question for you is I was actually kind of wondering, what were you doing before you started with your business? You started with the summer management program. Like, where were you before?
So I was in school. I was directing all of my energy towards getting into law school, actually, prior to joining the summer management position. And I was just focusing on getting involved in extracurricular clubs, doing a lot of volunteer work, trying to get internships, stuff like that. So that's kind of how I fell into the summer management position. That's why I applied, was originally just to set myself apart to get into law school.
Okay. And when you did that, what kind of work were you doing at the same time, like to pay for school and that kind of stuff?
So I had various different jobs. I've always kind of been into the more physical jobs. So I did landscaping, for example. I coached figure skating. I did a bit of construction work. I had jobs kind of all over the place.
Okay. Yeah, a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Okay. And how did you actually come to find out about StudentWorks?
So it's kind of funny. I was actually just looking for management positions online, and I stumbled upon it. And I just decided it was a great opportunity, and I decided to apply off of that.
Okay. And you had a friend that did it before you did it?
No, I didn't know. Yeah, no, I didn't know anybody.
Were you friends with Rachel?
Yes, actually, yeah, but I didn't know that she had done it until after I had been hired. And then she sent, because she was a high school friend of mine, so she sent me a message saying that she had done it. And it was kind of like this big surprise, and then it was really nice, and I got some good feedback and stuff.
Okay, cool. She kind of gave you a little bit of advice on what to do.
Yeah.
And so why did running your own business, why did that appeal to you?
So it appealed to me just because I wanted to really acquire the skills to take on a leadership role, and I wanted to learn just more about business in general. Originally, before actually applying to this program, I wasn't in business at all. So then after doing the program, I decided, hey, this is something that really interests me, and this is something I want to really learn more about. And that's actually how I ended up applying for my business.
So that's why you're taking some business program in school now?
Yeah.
Okay. So what were you most concerned about? Like when you were applying and going through the process, what do you think was your biggest concern about being an entrepreneur?
So my biggest concern was just all the unknown, really. Just because I had zero experience, I really didn't know how to paint at all. I just didn't have any prior knowledge. I was kind of just going into it, just willing to learn. So it kind of was exciting, but it also scared me because I didn't know at all what I was doing. And yeah, it was really just kind of taking that leap and having the confidence to take that leap in spite of not knowing what was going to happen and not knowing how I would take to it or how quickly I was going to learn or adapt. And yeah.
Okay. And obviously, like once you got started, how were you supported through the process of, figuring that stuff out and going and starting your first business?
Yeah, so there was tons of support. I had lots of support from the business itself, so from the StudentWorks program. I mean, my district manager was hugely supportive. I think I called him probably 3 to 4 times a day, every single day since I joined. And he was always happy to take my calls, and he would even call me if he didn't hear from me 4 times a day. And then everyone in the program was really supportive. All the vet operators were great. I also had lots of support from home. I could call back my parents and they would support me. I had a really good support system in general. I had a lot of good friends that would support me as well, kind of through those ups and downs and, the little struggles and stuff. So I had lots of support kind of from all different angles.
Okay, awesome. And so what would you say, like obviously, as you mentioned, there was some times there was struggles. What would you say was the hardest lesson that you learned as a business owner?
So the hardest lesson that I learned, and I'll even add to that, continue to learn, because it's something that I still am struggling with, and it's something that I think everybody continues to develop as they kind of grow and pursue business ventures and stuff like that, is just to take a step outside of the immediate situation and just to realize this isn't everything right now. You can take a step outside and kind of gain perspective and take on a different approach than just going right into it and getting overwhelmed.
Okay. So what would you say was the most useful thing that you learned from running your business?
Yeah, so there's lots of useful things that you learn. It's difficult to narrow it down to just one or two things. But all in all, I would say the most useful thing that I learned is to really manage your time effectively, because you try and juggle so many different things. Especially as a student, you have your full-time university schedule, then you have all your studying, you have your full-time business, and family, friends, extracurriculars, like the list goes on. So basically, just owning the skills to be able to effectively dedicate your time in all those areas is a really great skill that I think will benefit me hugely in the future, and I'll continue to develop on it as well.
Yeah. So time management almost being like one of the most useful things.
Yeah.
Okay. And well, last question. If you really had to boil down the program and distill it down to three words that you think best describe the experience, how would you describe it?
So it's hard to do. So I think hard would be one of them, because it is hard work. You're going to go through lots of challenges. There's going to be ups and downs. Perseverance would be another one. It kind of goes hand in hand with the hard work. And then I would just say learning, because you're constantly learning and you never learn everything. So you're consistently building on what you learn, and you're always willing to learn more as you go.
Awesome. Thanks a lot.